but it essentially, I mean, I don't know about them, but it doesn't make me happy. It actually just made everything 1,000 times worse.
Amanda and Cody. Where are you guys from?
Ohio?
Both of you?
Mm-hmm.
You guys met there?
Yeah, we actually met on Facebook dating.
Really?
Yes. We were both in separate sober livings when we met. I had been clean for like 6.5 months, and he had been clean for what, like a month?
Yeah. Maybe.
Let's start at the beginning. Tell me about your childhoods. Amanda, you grew up where?
I grew up in Toledo and then Delta, Ohio.
Okay.
So,
What was your family like?
I mean, my mom and dad were together my whole life. We went on family vacations. We went camping all the time. We sat down and had dinner every night as a family. Like, it was our one rule. I didn't really want for anything. My dad had a really good job. He worked for Ford for 30 years, and he made good money. And I mean, I went to school. I graduated high school. I was in like the top 16% of my class. Mm-hmm. I had a good childhood.
Is there addiction in your family?
Mm-hmm. My mom, she got clean when I was a year. She used to smoke crack. So, but other than that, I mean, here and there, certain other people like in our family, but not anybody that, like, immediate family. Like, my dad barely drank. My sister she drinks sometimes, but, like, no, my mom, pretty much.
Yeah. And Cody, how about you?
I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I've lived there pretty much my entire life, and my childhood was completely different from hers. Addiction runs pretty rampant in both sides of my family. My father was an alcoholic my entire life. I pretty much watched him drink himself to death. And my mom, she was always there for me. Like, she was actually ended up being my best friend, but like, it was a weird, like, we were more friends than she was my parent relationship. Like, I started smoking weed with her when I was 13, and that was pretty much the biggest part of our relationship is throughout my whole life is getting high with her. So it was a weird dynamic.
You graduated high school?
No. I dropped out after, I went to 9th grade, and that was about it.
And your parents are still
No, both my parents are deceased.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad died when I ended up being 15. I was probably 15 or 16 years old when my dad died. And then my mom just died in 2022.
You guys are still using today?
Yeah.
What is your drug now?
We do fentanyl and meth.
You've been on the streets for how long?
I mean, I was on the streets in Ohio for 5 years, and then we've been here for going on 2. So.
Yeah, I've been on the streets on and off like for the last 8 years probably.
Where do you stay? You have a tent, or you just stay up?
We had a tent before, but we were temporarily housed for 6 months, and apparently the program we were a part of ran out of funding the end of last month, and they had nowhere else for us to go, so put us back on the street. So no, this time we don't have a tent. We just stay wherever. We make sure we have a blanket with us. I mean, that's really all we need, as long as we can stay warm.
Yeah, I mean, it can be rough sometimes, but actually it's more annoying just getting stuff and then having it stolen over and over again. Like, we recently just got the news that all of our stuff where we thought it was safe is now gone, so get to start over with doing that again for the millionth time.
How do you guys make money now?
I mean, pretty much any way I can. I boost a lot of the time. Just because I've never lived somewhere where I didn't have a way to make money without doing something like that. California's definitely changed my aspect on where how things are done as far as being able to get a job and such.
Have you had legit jobs before?
I've had a couple, but I mean, I've always been really good at the jobs that I get. It's just I've always struggled getting a job. Every job I've had for 2-3 years plus. Once I got them, it was just getting the job that I've always struggled with.
Do you feel the bias against addicts?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you guys are disrespected everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they take. I mean, anymore it's like they take one look at me and it's just like I feel like they treat me like they're better than me.
I mean, just last night we were on the bus and we were sitting up front and someone with a wheelchair came on, and the other side across from us had the seats up, so there was room for the wheelchair for the person to sit, and the bus driver basically was talking shit, saying that did we not realize where we were sitting? It was for people that were disabled and we needed to move. Well, I mean, he is technically disabled. He had surgery a little over 6 months ago, and he had a perforated bowel and was in the hospital and had to have emergency surgery, and he's technically, disabled. You just can't tell that when you look at him. So I hate that people assume just because, we're addicts, that means that we just sit up there because we're lazy. No, it's really hard for him to get up steps and all that. So she just assumes that, like, we took the spot because we got on and we didn't want to move to the back of the bus. But, like, that wasn't the case. I mean, we moved regardless, but to have people treat us like that everywhere we go.
Yeah. You guys tried to get clean?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried many times.
I've never really tried to get clean. Like, I've done programs on and off, but it was more for a place to live. But like up until recently, I never felt like I struggled with addiction. I mean, obviously I did, but I never really thought it was a problem until I started seeing it affect bigger things in my life. Like, due to meth use, that's pretty much why I lost my kids, and it's just been downhill from there. So.
But he had never really used fentanyl until we moved here.
Yeah.
In Ohio, it was meth for him. So he's only been using fentanyl since we got to California. So that's new for him to see how much of a hold that can take over your life once you get so far into your addiction. The being sick, he had never experienced being dope sick.
Yeah.
Until we got here and we didn't have any money, and he's a big baby when he's sick, but
yeah, but actually, like, really being sick and just like the thought of having to have it every day kept me clean as far as off of opiates for years. I've sold them and stuff like that, but I've seen other people, and like I never understood like why they were so dependent on it. And like even with like crack and stuff like that, I kept a full-time job when I was smoking crack, and like I could keep pocket money in my pocket. It was like I would never like really experience like a drug take over my whole life until meth and then now fentanyl.
And you do the meth to keep you awake?
Yeah.
Because fentanyl tends to knock you out?
It doesn't, I wouldn't say it really knocks me out, but like the meth was more of a, I gotta stay awake, or because I'm homeless, you know what I mean? Like if I go to sleep, all my stuff's gonna be gone, or so that's my weakest point is when I'm asleep, because anything could happen.
What do you think the general public doesn't understand about drug addiction?
I would say that they are quick to judge and say that I might have made the choice to do drugs, but like after a little while, the drugs are the driver for real. Like they don't understand that your whole way of thinking completely changes, and before you know it, your brain and your addiction is deciding to do stuff that you would never have done in your life before. Like,
what kind of things are you doing that?
Like, I mean, not currently, but before, like when I said, I lost my kids due to addiction. And like I went from, I would have never have thought of I was gonna use around my kids, and the next thing you know, I was sitting right next to her smoking in a bubble, and it didn't even faze me. Like, and I didn't realize that until they were gone. I was like, holy shit! Like, how can I have done this to my kids? Like, I was right there in their face, pretty much, and like I realized then that like it's taken a bigger hold on me than I thought it did. That's for sure.
The same for me. I mean, I never thought when I became a mom that I would use in front of my son, and I got to the point that I was in Ohio. I was shooting up fentanyl in the front seat with my kid in the back seat, then driving an hour home high.
How many kids do you have?
Just one.
Just one? And
I have 3.
Oh, you have 3.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever see your kids?
No.
No.
I terminated my parental rights a couple years ago. I signed over temporary custody to my husband, my mom's sister's daughter, so my niece and her husband, and then they have 2 kids of their own, two boys that are around my son's age. When my family found out I signed over temporary custody so I could try to get my life together, go to rehab, take care of everything and get clean. And it didn't work. And then they wanted to get my son's dad's rights taken away because he was in and out. He's not really, I know I'm not the greatest influence in his life, but his dad was way worse than I was at the time. And so they had to file against myself and him in court to get his rights taken away because I was still custodial parent. And so the judge gave me 2 years to try to at least get my foot in the door to start getting my life together and get clean. And when the 2 years came around, I had tried a bunch of times, but I just wasn't ready. It never stuck. I kept going back to using. I was incarcerated at the time that I had video court, and the judge asked me if I wanted to terminate voluntarily or if I wanted to fight it. And I asked what would happen if I fought, getting my rights taken away. And she said that my son would be pulled from my cousin's home and put in a group home until court was done and then adoption was figured out and all that. And the whole reason I signed over temporary custody in the first place is because I couldn't give my son the stability he needed. I couldn't be the mom he needed. And then to fight to keep my rights as his mom, they were going to take him from the stability that he had for the last 2.5 years and put him somewhere he didn't know. And so I voluntarily terminated my rights. My cousin and her husband legally adopted my son. So he'll be 13 next month.
How many years did you spend with him?
I had him until he was 7.5.
They make it hard for the addict, don't they?
Yeah, I had similar circumstances, but I wasn't even told I had a time limit or nothing. I ended up getting in trouble, and then that started the process of being in and out of jail for warrants and whatnot. And then next thing you know, I was actually doing a drug program, and I had to go to court, and they were like, "Oh, well, you didn't know that you had a year's time to essentially turn your entire life around. Otherwise, we decided that you're not going to get your kids back now." And there was nothing I could do about it. And then they asked me "Oh, well, if you had your kids right now, would you be able to provide for them?" And it sucked, but I had to honestly say no, I couldn't, because I was in a drug program. I couldn't do nothing for them. And I wish I wouldn't necessarily say I would have terminated my rights, but I wish I would have been okay with my kids being in a stable position compared to with me for as long as they were, because they could have had a much easier life as far as certain things go, and it not possibly have caused them issues compared to I drug them through the mud with me for the whole time I had them, pretty much. And in my eyes, I was doing the best I could, which I was trying, but like you said, they definitely make it hard for the addict. Hard to keep a job, everybody judging you on top of the fact of now I just look like I'm just a piece of shit that chose drugs over my kids, when in reality the drugs were driving well before I ever even had any issues with my kids. I was a great parent, and the next thing you know, I watched meth and its addiction just take my whole life from me. I literally sitting there telling my baby mom at the time, "Oh, we gotta stop doing this, or this is gonna happen," and I essentially just watched my whole life crumble in front of me and just could not figure out how to stop.
What do you worry about now? What are you guys afraid of?
It's a hard one.
Yeah, it really is. Because I'm not afraid of death. I dance with the devil every day when I do fentanyl. It could.
Have you OD'd?
Any day, yes, 13 times. I've died 13 times. The first month we were here in California, I OD'd 6 times.
And the pull is that strong that despite almost dying 13 times, you're still going to do it? That says a lot.
I wake up thinking about fentanyl I spend the day figuring out how I'm going to get the money to get the fentanyl I need. I get high and then I go to sleep thinking about it. It's my entire life.
Yeah. I would say probably about the only thing I fear as far as like right now would be having an addiction ruin another relationship that I have or like causing more people that I care about to either not be around or whatnot. As far as, I mean, between addiction and cancer and all that stuff, I've literally lost my entire family. My kids have been taken from me. I've never been able to hold a successful relationship until the one I'm in now. And of course it's still rocky on that, so it's just I don't want to be able to say that addiction ruined another relationship that could have been great.
You're probably all the addicts on the street are probably capable of having great lives, great relationships. They're just not able to realize any of this potential because of how these substances just derail everything.
Mm-hmm.
Does it affect you emotionally to be going through this?
I mean, that's the whole reason that I started using fentanyl in the first place, is because I don't want to feel. I don't want to deal with all the stuff that I've been through and, shitty relationships and shit that I've done that I can't take back, that I can't fix, friendships that I've ruined, even before I was a drug addict, before I was on drugs. I don't want to deal with all that painful memories, the forgiving people and forgiving myself. Like, that is the whole reason I started getting high. I'm numb. I numb myself. I don't want to deal with my emotions.
Yeah, the whole thing of getting high and then all of a sudden, at least for a little while, it's all gone. And that's whether I'm awake or not. Like, I mean, it sucks to say, but like overdosing is probably one of the most peaceful ways you could die, honestly. Like, it was literally like I just went to sleep. And it wasn't until I had to feel the pain of after I'd been Narcaned and how sick that makes you feel that I was like, holy shit. But like, other than that, like, it was literally like I just went to sleep. Everything was gone. So I could see how it would be something that's like scary if you're afraid to die, but if you're not worried about that, then why would you be scared of it? It's literally like you just went to sleep.
You guys have regrets in your life?
You're not supposed to. That's what they tell you. Shouldn't have regrets. But, yeah, I mean, I regret a lot of shit. I regret not talking to my dad more and spending more time with him before he passed away. I mean, I was 20 years old when he died. And I'd call his phone and I wouldn't say, hey, Dad, how you doing? It was, hey, Dad, where's Mom at? She didn't answer her phone. I never asked my dad how he was doing. I mean, once I was a teenager, I barely spoke to him. But, I mean, I miss my dad every day. And I mean, even now, I regret not having a closer relationship with the family that I do have. I haven't spoke to my mom in over 6 months. My sister, probably the same amount of time. I mean, last my family knew, they didn't know that I was out here using drugs. Thought I was out here, thought we had jobs, a place to live. I don't want to be a burden to my mom and my family anymore than, they worry about me all the time. When they know that I'm out here using, my mom says that she's afraid every time her phone rings that it's someone calling to tell her that her daughter died. And I would just rather my mom have a little bit of peace for now. I mean, she's getting old. She's in her 60s, and I don't want her to worry every day, all the time about me. I made the choices that I made, and I'm here because I made those choices, and I don't want her to suffer because of it.
Shame is a big part of this life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps you stuck.
Yeah, shame and guilt has caused me to go back to using plenty of times. Feeling guilty or shameful for some of the stuff I've done between getting money just so I can get high or stuff I've allowed just because I was high. Definitely, shame will definitely keep me just as depressed as the dope does. You know, like everybody's like, oh, well, I get high because it makes me happy. Like, but it essentially, I mean, I don't know about them, but it doesn't make me happy. It actually just made everything 1,000 times worse. But at the same time, it's that numbness that for a little while, all my worries are gone. And it can be as simple as that. I guess all I gotta do is take whatever money I got and trade it for this, and now I'm having a good time even when my life's the worst it could possibly be. Why wouldn't I trade that? And get that, like, a euphoric feeling that I wouldn't have anywhere else. I'm homeless, I have no family, my family does not talk to me, and that was with or without drugs. I've just never really had a support system other than my mom. So why not get high? Especially once they took my kids from me.
Is it easier or more difficult being a couple on the streets?
I think it makes it easier to know that you have someone. But I mean, we do see other couples that you can tell they're no longer in love with each other. They are toxic for each other. I could even go as far to say as some couples out here hate each other, but they would rather continue to deal with that person than be alone. Being out alone out there is scary. I mean, I've had encounters that have terrified me, and I will never forget them, even being with somebody, because he wasn't around at the time, you know. We got separated while we were out and about, and something happened to me, and, you know, because he wasn't around. So, like, I have still dealt with stuff, but I know people who are out there by themselves without somebody to protect them and just someone to talk to at the end of the day. And some of the stories I hear are heartbreaking.
Does being with someone, though, does that keep you stuck? It's going to be harder to get two people clean than one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times I feel like if one of you is ready and the other one's not, it's not. One of you can't keep using and the other one get clean, because it will drag the one that gets clean back out every time. You can only put yourself in front of the situation that you're trying to get out of for so long before it sucks you back in. Sometimes without you even realizing it. So.
Do you guys foresee a day where you are going to be ready and you're going to do it?
We actually have tried once since we've been in California just a couple months ago. We see the USC Street Med team, and we got the Brixadi shot.
What is that?
It is just buprenorphine without the naloxone in it. And so there's a 3-day method. We got low dose injections on day 1 and 2, and the doctor encouraged us to use fentanyl the first 2 days to offset the withdrawal symptoms. And she gave us a bunch of meds to help with those as well. And then on the 3rd day, she gives you a 30-day Sublocade shot. So essentially it's a 3-day process, and once you're on the Sublocade shot, I mean, you can't use. You won't feel it. You'll die before you feel anything, but it's probably one of the quickest ways I've ever heard of being able to get clean, because once you get that 30-day shot, you only deal with withdrawal symptoms maybe 24 to 48 hours after that. It was his first time trying to get clean, though, and we made it to almost the end of day 2. And, I mean, he looked at me and he's like, I'm not ready to do this. And I was like, I mean, I wasn't ready either, but he wanted to try, and I wanted to try with him so he knew when he was ready to get clean what he was going to go through.
Yeah, it was definitely a whole new demon that I never have dealt with before. But like, on that, we were encouraged to use, but we didn't have no money to use, so we couldn't. So we was automatically sicker than we would have been anyways. And like, it came down to like, rehab makes it easy essentially. Like, you know, you get help there. You have comfort meds. You have a bed. You have food. You have stuff that like makes the shit that you're going through, even though it sucks, a little bit easier. And at the time when we were trying it, we didn't have nothing other, like, we were inside, but that was it. And that, like, we had a hotel room, but we didn't have no food, we didn't have no cigarettes, we didn't have no drugs, we didn't, like, it literally, like, it was just a whole bunch of stuff that I feel like if those weren't the case, it could have been easier to have gotten clean. We might have made it through the 3 days if it wouldn't have been at a time when we had less money than we normally do and we didn't have the stuff that normally comforts us.
Every day's an adventure on the streets, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Especially in LA.
Let me ask you one last question. What would you guys say is the most important lesson you've learned in your lives?
I guess mine is don't be so hard on yourself all the time about, little failures, big failures. Like, everybody is human. And even a millionaire that lives in Beverly Hills, one wrong move and they could be exactly where I'm at tomorrow. And I don't think people realize just how fast you can go from having everything that you want to having nothing and being out here.
That's true.
All right.
I would have to say that I would take it, tread lightly when you consider judging people. You never know what the next person has been through, ever. And then on top of that, you got to think about really cherishing what you do have while you have it. Because you never really see how much it affects you until it's gone. And that can be any aspect of your life.
All right. Amanda and Cody, thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
I wish you guys lots of luck out there. Thank you. When I was designing the first Soft White Underbelly book, I realized that there were so many great portraits that weren't going to make it into that book. They just wouldn't fit. And once I saw how well that first book sold, I knew I'd have to design a second book. This second book is finally ready to ship. Like the first one, this book has a collection of some of the best portraits from Soft White Underbelly, accompanied by a quote from that person's interview. This book features another group of Rebecca portraits, as well as a collection of color images of the Whitaker family, and plenty of others. You can order yours for $125 or $150 for a signed copy at softwhiteunderbelly.org. Again, like the first book, once this book is sold out, I will not be printing